when you were younger, what were you like as a young kid, a young woman?
Yeah. So one thing that I like love is that when people meet me, they feel like they know exactly who they're gonna get. Like it's so that, and because I don't lead with trying to be perfect, I don't lead with that. And I think that it takes this like weight off when you can share the things that you wouldn't, like share about, like, my illness journey and all kinds of things. But as a kid, I was pretty much like kind of how I am now. Like I was very energetic. I would break out into weird dance moves in public. Like I loved doing weird shit in public all the time as a kid. Like I had a very vibrant soul. But I also was like, I was born with a birthmark on my face. Like I was like one of the first kids to undergo all these surgeries. So I definitely was like programmed to feel shame about who I am. And I thought there was something wrong with me. I felt defected. Like I had my own journey of undoing to kind of cut through that conditioning, um, and feel more comfortable in my skin. And it was a journey. I didn't just wake up one day feeling like like I'm just gonna go be me. Like, I mean, I kind of did, but that was through like hitting a million bottoms. You know what I mean? It was a very like the journey was not glamorous by any means. But yeah, I had kind of that balance of my essence, my soul, and who I am today. And then also just a lot of the flip side of that, of what it feels like to look different from other people. I mean, obviously, in some regards, I've grown up with like privilege and, where I come from and things like that. But on another hand, I didn't ever see anyone with a birthmark until I was like in my 20s. So like I didn't know as a child, I just thought there was something wrong with me, you know?
And so what type of upbringing did you have? Like, what did your parents do, and what was your childhood like?
Yeah, so we grew up in a area where like it was a very image conscious area, and I grew up in Marin County, and I went to like a Catholic school where we weren't allowed to wear makeup, but at the same time I was having makeup put on me to kind of hide and fit in. So I was everything that my soul is, which is like very free. I experienced the opposite of that growing up. And so I feel like I can connect with people who feel like they um, were told to be a certain way. So I kind of know what it feels like to swing to the other pendulum and kind of undo that conditioning. And I think as like on a soul level, I came in to kind of experience a very image focused thing and come in looking different than other people, so I could understand the journey of what it takes to kind of break through those limiting things. I'm sure as you experience too, that contrast, right? Of like feeling or believing a certain way and then swinging to the other side of the pendulum and being like, no, I can actually do whatever the fuck I want. No, I belong on stages. And that contrast, I think, is like the reason a lot of us are here, is to flip back to who we are.
And when you think about like, your next journey, because you talk a little bit about this next chapter that you're living right now, what does that mean to you? What is your next chapter in your life for you?
Yeah, great question. I think what I'm experiencing is the more that we kind of get beyond ourselves, the more that we master our craft and our purpose, it's really just about creating more of that impact, that legacy. And I have an amazing business partner, and we just have like tons of plans for where I want to go and what I want to create and how I want to show up and serve people. So it's really, I think you and I are both very much mission focused and how we can create the most impact for our community. And I think that's kind of like once you can heal some of the core things, it's really just a life of like service and purpose and filling up your own cup and enjoying what you do. And I think that's kind of where the rest of my life is dedicated to go.
Why are you single still?
She's single. I think, first of all, I feel so confident when I'm single. I think so. I like people look at me and they're like, "How are you single?" I look at people, I'm like, "How are you in a relationship?" Like I've always just kind of been like kind of this free, confident girl, and I think that when you're waiting for the right person, like if you want to get in a relationship, it's really easy to do, right? You can just literally pick someone and do the damn thing. But like I'm looking to create a very intentional, like I want my like most compatible soulmate, and I think I'm on a mish and I want someone else on a mish, and I think I want to come together and create something really intentional. And I think that takes timing, and I feel like Yeah, I feel like I'm just now starting to be ready for that.
And so when I mean, in your as far as your business, because you're obviously an entrepreneur and you're building a company right now, and you got your mission, you got your focus for the future. I mean, how would you describe your business and your mission?
Yeah, I am the owner and founder of a brand called Her Unapologetic Success. So basically, a lot of the work I do is reprogramming the subconscious, shattering those limiting beliefs. I mainly work with women. So it's basically helping women be, do, and have whatever the fuck they want. So a lot of them are already
That
super
kind of
successful.
that kind of sounds a little sexist to me. I don't know, but but you go. It's
I
okay. It's okay. We're
I
good.
have a lot of amazing men in my community too that I also serve, but it's really about helping people come into alignment with their purpose, their soul, and then having the courage. As you know, it takes a lot of fucking courage to go after what you want. And so building something like their next level of success, going after what they want. And for some people, that might be a partnership, that might be marriage. It might not look more business oriented, but it's really kind of unprogramming ourselves, being like, what is it that I actually want? And then like practically going after it and also having like the courage to do it.
Unapologetic codes. Tell me a few of those codes that you believe in.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest ones for me is making shamelessness my spiritual practice. So, like you said, it's all about kind of being like, fuck it. Like, I'm done apologizing for who I am, right? Like, I'm going to let people know the real me. So, I think it's a practice, right? And I think there's nuances, right? And it's not just like, being blind, there's a lot of self-awareness that comes with being unapologetic. It's not about never apologizing for making a mistake, but it's just about owning who you are, your needs, and basically going after what you want.
And apologies. I mean, what I mean, because I hear unapologetic, but I mean, do you ever say sorry?
Of course. I'm like you. I've got like a bold, wild, fierce, like kind of go after what you want. But I also have a very like nurturing, soft, feminine essence and super empathic. And I think where I'm targeting, like, I'm not talking to every single person. I'm talking to the people who feel ashamed of who they are, who are so far on the other side of the spectrum that they don't feel worthy to claim their place in life. And I'm here to be like, you deserve to be you. It's not about doing whatever the fuck you want, causing harm, and being like, I'm not going to apologize. It's just bringing people back to that balance so they can like take the spotlight and like claim a life that's worth living for them. But it's not about not apologizing, being an asshole, like, not at all. It's very much self awareness based, but it's for the people who are on too far of the spectrum of like feeling bad about themselves, you know?
So if I'm an introvert, okay, I'm a serious introvert. I'm scared to talk to people. I'm scared to assert myself. What are a couple of ideas that you could give me as this really, really introverted person? What are a couple of thoughts that you can share with me?
Yeah, great question. I'm a big fan of finding the path of least resistance. Like, it's already hard enough to get out there. You don't need to go from like A to Z overnight, right? So, like, if you're super introverted, what's like a smaller setting that you can take a little like baby step towards? Maybe it's you're more comfortable online. Like, some people are legitimately more comfortable on stages than in one-on-one settings. So, I would find a space that feels edgy, a little uncomfortable, and start kind of putting yourself out there. But you don't have to go from being completely introverted to stepping on a stage. Like, you can get there if that's what you want, but I would customize something where it feels doable but it feels uncomfortable, and I'd have someone move in that direction.
If you like this video and you want to watch another one, click right here. If you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.